AEW is actually beginning to impress me. It's impressing me with how the show continues to get worse and worse every week. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. It's time for your weekly hour review of AEW Rampage. Thankfully, it's only the show that's an hour. This review will not be an hour. I honestly do not have an hour to talk about this garbage. Watching this garbage for an hour is bad enough. Could you imagine if you actually spent an hour talking about it as well? Jesus Christ. But yeah, we're here to review Rampage, aka the B show, aka the show where they put all the garbage that they don't want on Dynamite. And trust me, there's a lot of garbage that they put on Dynamite too, but the majority of the stuff on Rampage is too bad for Dynamite. So that kind of sums up how horrible this show is. Now, we kick off the night with CESARO coming out. He comes out with Wheeler Yuta, whatever he's called. And this Wheeler Yuta guy, people talking him up as if he's going to be like a main eventer or the next world champion. He's literally a fucking guy with no charisma, no character, and all he does is follow CESARO about. I mean, that's literally it. Follows CESARO about, follows Rigo about. He's like third. I know there's more than 3 people in the Blackpool Bullet Club or whatever it's called, but he literally just like third wheels everybody. I mean, he just follows people around. I mean, I don't think the guy's. Has he got his own mind? Has he got words of his own? Has he got actions of his own? Probably not. So he just sticks to CESARO like super glue. I mean, what was the fucking point of him coming out here? He didn't even say nothing. Literally just stood there like a fucking spare part holding some job or title. Speaking of job or title, CESARO says it's an honour to be in front of his trainer and one of his heroes growing up, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. He refers to the Ring of Honor title, Ring of Honor. He refers to the Ring of Honor title as a world title, which it's not. I mean, it's a glorified indie fucking belt. There's nothing world about Ring of Honor. He said he doesn't feel comfortable in his street clothes. He issues a challenge for the belt. Dustin Rhodes comes out, accepts. He says if CESARO accepts this match, he'll give him the best version of himself. CESARO says, "Hey, Dustin, you're like me. You deserve to be world champion. You deserve to be Ring of Honor." Like, what? So basically, we're going to have a match on Dynamite. CESARO says that Rhodes deserves to be world champion. And this belt's not even a fucking world title. Come on. And this belt's about as prestigious as the 205 Live title or the 365 24/7 title. It's garbage. Speaking of garbage, yes, we've got an Ortiz Soho promo. Soho mentions her hand, mentions Ortiz's head, his hair, says that they want to get their hands on Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti, says that they want to get their hands on those two after what they did to her hand, and then she says, why don't they try their hand with the 2 big dogs in the yard instead of beating up the kids, and like fucking garbage. Then Ortiz takes over and he says they want them tomorrow, tonight, last night, 20 seconds from now, 6 months from now, 5 years from now. They want them right now. I mean, Ortiz trying to get pumped here, but honestly, the only thing this made me pumped to do is switch off the TV. Garbage promo, Ortiz and Soho. People make it out as if Soho was going to go to AEW and be treated so much better. And honestly, what has she done? Nothing. I think her career was actually better as Ruby Riott, you know. She's went to AEW and done absolutely nothing. Speaking of doing absolutely nothing, we got an AEW Tag Team title match that done absolutely nothing. Swerve and Fat Boy defeated the team of Private Party to retain their belts. This lasted about 3-4 minutes. What was the point? Honestly, there was no point. Then we go backstage. We've got Powerhouse Hobbs confronting the Factory. Hobbs is pushing QT Marshall. He says that they said they would take care of that little pipsqueak, Ricky Starks. The rest of the Factory is going to, I guess, attack Hobbs for pushing Marshall. Marshall restrains them all, tells them to calm down. QT apologises. He says, yeah, his word is his bond. Last week things didn't go as they planned, but he says they'll get the job done. Why the fuck are the Factory working for Hobbs? Why is Powerhouse Hobbs needing the Factory to take care of Ricky Starks? If he's so bothered about Ricky Starks, if he wants somebody to take care of this pipsqueak, Ricky Starks, why doesn't he just go and fucking take care of Ricky Starks himself? I mean, he says he doesn't like the guy. He says the guy accepted losing and he was bringing their tag team down. If Powerhouse Hobbs doesn't like Ricky Stark. If he's got an issue with Ricky Stark, why not go and take Ricky Starks out yourself? Why is he in the back wanting some fucking jobber faction that nobody knows to try and take care of Ricky Starks? It makes no sense. Is he paying them? No. Has he got any connections, ties, allegiances with them? No. So why is Powerhouse Hobbs worried about the factory? And why would the factory care about beating up Ricky Starks? It makes absolutely no sense. No sense whatsoever. Honestly, don't get this. Then we have Hook defending the Fuck the World title, and he squashes some guy in 10 seconds, just locks him in the Taz mission, and the guy taps. Honestly, Hook, for me, must be one of the most overrated wrestlers currently in 2022. He does not look like a star. He's got a fucking stupid haircut. Doesn't look like a tough man. He comes out chewing his gum. They always refer to him as the handsome devil. I mean, does Tony Schiavone want to call his matches, or does he want to fuck him up the ass? Which one is it? Because he keeps referring to him as the handsome devil. And this guy, Taz is 10 times better than this guy, man. It's an absolute joke. If I was Taz, I would be ashamed of having this guy being my son. Yeah, the guy's he's horrible. Absolutely horrible. Anyway, at least it only lasted 10 seconds. I mean, that was a saving grace. At least it could have been worse. The match could have went 10 minutes, but yeah, it went 10 seconds. Then after that, we get a Jericho Association Society promo. They claim that Hook thinks he's tough, blah, blah, blah. But they say, what would be real tough if he defended the title? And then they ask, but what if the FTW title was held by a sports entertainer? What if? Well, considering these two guys are not sports entertainers, I mean, that's what I don't get, right? Jericho's in this faction, and they're pushing this whole sports entertainment gimmick, yet he's in factions. Everyone in the faction's a vanilla midget. Like, look at Daniel Garcia. There is absolutely nothing sports entertainment about Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia is a typical indie Ring of Honor, all I've got is tights and wrestling. That sums up Danny Garcia. Now, I'll admit these two that were in the promo are slightly better than Garcia, but they're just not good. I think Jericho's wasting time. He's not got many years left. Just give up this Jericho Appreciation Society shit. It's a garbage bloody feud. Jericho spent years, in his last feud. I can't even remember the name of them. So why is he doing the same thing over and over again? Why not just have a singles run? Honestly, I don't get it. I do not get it. Speaking of squash matches, we've already pretty much had what? Many did we have the night already too? Well, we're getting a third one because Murphy defeats Serpentico. Serpentico, I believe, had like a win-loss record of 13 wins and 85 losses. So again, we knew who was going to win this. Murphy wins it in a minute, squashes him, beats him. And then we get Miro coming out with a mask. Apparently this mask belongs to Aleister Black. I don't know if that's true or not, but apparently it does. He throws the mask and then attacks Murphy's, or is it Matthews? I don't know. Murphy Matthews, who gives a shit? Then he beats him up, throws him to the side, and then he stares at Julia Hart, right? Julia Hart is hot, but that's about as good as this segment gets. Unless Lana's going to run it, and Julia Hart and Lana's going to, roll around the ring fucking naked, then this was not any good to me, man. This was garbage. And again, speaking of garbage, we have a DMD promo. Just basically talk about how they're not at the pay-per-view, how they're not in the number one ranked contenders. That's why they're not at the pay-per-view. And then they talk about how Toni Storm lost to Thunder Rosa, then she started teaming up with her, and they called her pathetic. So, I mean, what are they going with here? Seriously. This done absolutely nothing. Went nowhere. Then we get Athena versus Penelope Ford. Jericho on commentary says he loves Athena's entrance. He says it's amazing. He's making it out like it's an Undertaker-style entrance. Literally, all it is Athena comes out with, she's calling, the Fallen Angel, and she's got, a few, knife-shaped objects, but they're, kind of spread out so they look like wings. It's basically plastic fucking wings she comes out with. And then when she gets to the top of the ramp, she just takes them off. So that's the entrance right there. She walks out with some plastic wings on her, then takes them off, then walks to the ring. And Jericho's making it as if this is some massive fucking entrance, WrestleMania-esque entrance. Oh, garbage. Athena wins, but beats Penelope Ford in about 4 minutes. Then gets attacked by the baddies. The baddies are beating her up. Some of the worst offense you'll ever see. I mean, you take the worst American football team of all time, times it by 100, and that was the offense we had here, just non-existent. Terrible punches, terrible kicks. Then Jade Cargill comes out, attacks the wings with a sledgehammer, breaks the wings, then comes into the ring and hits Athena with a sledgehammer. It's like, why is a dangerous weapon like a sledgehammer being used in a jobber women feud? A sledgehammer's supposed to be a weapon that's capable of not ending matches, ending fucking careers, ending lives. Yet they treated it here as if the sledgehammer was just like a throwaway weapon, as if it was like a bacon pin or something like that, you know what I mean? Or, I don't know, it was stupid. I mean, a sledgehammer should not be used for two women in a nothing feud, in a low card fucking feud. Sledgehammer's a dangerous weapon. It should be used by the main event guys. There was a reason why Triple H came out and used sledgehammers all the time, and JR sold it like he would almost kill people, right? You never got bums like Crash Holly using sledgehammers, alright? That just didn't happen. Sledgehammer was a serious thing. Sledgehammer's like a main event, critical weapon that's capable of doing real damage. Shouldn't be used in a job or women's feud at all. Then we get the main event, trios tournament. The Best Friends and Cassidy defeat the Trustbusters. And really, you look at this Trustbusters and who decided to assemble this faction. We have some Muslim Iranian guy as the leader. There's a Japanese dude who does high flying moves. You got the big fucking white monster looking guy that pretty much looks like a serial killer. They call him Brock Lesnar 2.0. Looks more like Michael Myers in my opinion. Big fucking juiced up serial killer looking dude. And then we have this freak show transvestite. I don't even know if it's a man or a woman. Sonny Kiss. Just the worst stable I think I've ever seen. And I've noticed that AEW has a shitload of horrible factions that are just garbage, from the Factory to the Trustbusters to pretty much everybody. A lot of them are just horrible factions that are going nowhere. And I like factions, but AEW just has far too many. They persist with having about, 10, 12 stables, and I mean, most of them absolutely suck, and it's just a random mix of people. It doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, Best Friends and Cassidy win. They advance in the trios tournament. Whoop-de-doo. I mean, we'll see what happens. But yeah, guys, that is it for your AEW Rampage show. Wasn't impressed. I personally will give it a 0 out of 10. Let me know what you thought down below, and I'll catch you in the next one. But until then, this show continues to suck. Peace.